Evening, everyone. Welcome to joining us for our third webinar and final one for the year. Yeah, as you guys all know, this webinar is about map layering. Yeah, a bit of introduction. Yeah, I am one of the co-founders of Resolution, and I'm also a sheep and beef farmer up here in Hawke's Bay. We also have with us self-proclaimed Mayor of Huntly, Guy Melville, who is also a sheep and beef farmer himself up in the Waikato. Welcome, Guy.
Thanks, Robbie. Thank you.
So what we're going to do is, yeah, we're just going to run through the functionality on how map layering works. And then we'll run through some live examples of what I use on my farm. So we're going to run through some water lines ones, some weed maps, some health and safety. After that, Guy then will show us a couple of live examples he's doing around some techno development. And after that, then we'll do some winter grazing plan, and then I will show you some fencing plans that I'm doing for subdivisions. And then we'll jump in and do a little bit of tasking. And then at the end there, we'll show you where you can access some more resources around our learning center. And then after that, we will then do a Q&A. We'll leave that to the end, but if you guys do have any questions, you can pop them in on the chat there. On the Zoom there is an option for chat. So yeah, please put your questions through if they're relating to Map Player. Otherwise, we can just leave that to the end. But the more we can have a bit of a conversation, the better it will be. It's absolutely pissing down here in Hawke's Bay, so hopefully my internet and Starlink works. But we are well receiving this rain, what's been fantastic. I'm just going to share my tablet now, and we'll rip into it. Cool. So that looks like it's popped through here. I've just put a few example records in here up for just today. What we're going to do first is we're going to create a record to show you how to draw one of these. So up here in the top right hand corner, you can see where we have this plus button. If we click that, we're going to create one as a record to start with. And then in here, we're going to write the example. So we'll say it's just, a basic water lines. We're then going to come down into my tags here, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom where I have all my different map layers. So here they all are down the bottom here. When you sign up with us, you would have got a set of generic map layer tags. So you can obviously go through and change these. So in this case here, we're going to select the tag water lines. So the next thing what we're going to do here is go into where this draw layer button is. And once we're in here, this is where we can go and hit this plus button. And so what we're going to do is we'll go and draw both an area, a line, and a point. So we'll start with an area. And so yeah, you can just when you do your first click, that'll be your first one, and then I've done a second click there, then a third click, and as you can see there, as I'm clicking around them, it's just following me, and then I can click on the first one I have, and where I started, and that's now created that as an area. So then we can go done. From here, then this is where we can come in and we can label it. So we can go and change that to whatever we want. So we'll just go, we'll just write in there, I don't know, area one will do. If we wanted to, we'll save that. Oh, it's given us that area, so 6.1 hectares. If we're not that happy with it, we can always come back in here and click this edit button. And then that brings up all the dots around related to it. And then we can go and click on it. and we can drag them out. So I'm still holding down my mouse, guys, to come and pull them out, and that moves them all around. Okay, so wasn't that happy? Yeah, I can go and grab them and move them about. So what we can do here underneath that is we're able to got the ability to go and change to all these different colors in here. So there's 5 different colors here at the moment. And if you wanted to come into this custom area here, there's a whole lot of different colors you can select. And then from in each of these colors as well, there's 4 different shadings. So there's plenty of different colors there, what you can use. So we've drawn an area there. We're going to go and hit that save button now. And this time we're going to go and hit continue drawing. And this time we're going to go and draw a line. And this time we'll say that, this could be where our water line goes or whatever it is. So as I'm moving that cursor, I'm then just clicking on all those different points, kind of following just on the satellite imagery. So again, you've got the ability here to label them. Also, again, you can go and edit it and then drag those dots if you like if it's not in the right spot, and again, go and change those colors. And then we've got our distance there of 982 meters. So we'll go and hit the save button there now, and then we'll go and do another one. So we're going to go to continue drawing again. And in this case here, and then I'll hit this plus button here. And in this case here, I want to drop a point. So I'm going to zoom right in here, and we'll say we'll drop one on the strainer post here. So once we've done that, we hit done. Again, we can label it. If we want, we can even edit it. So same as before, but this time you've actually got the ability, you can actually just go and drag it and move it around. I'm actually doing that with my finger because the mouse didn't work. But yeah, I'm still holding down. But so I'm on the tablet doing this, so it's just that you can do this on the app as well, obviously. And yeah, so that's how you're able to go and edit them if you're not happy with where they are. It's also given us the GPS coordinates, so you can see them in there. They could be handy at some stage. So now we've drawn in there an area, a line, and a point. Okay. And then there is another one in here, and this is my location. And so this is the ability where you can actually drop a pin right where you're standing. Yeah, so it's another one there and you don't need service for any of this as well, guys. So now we've done that. I'll go back in there, sorry. And so we've got all of them in there now, okay, and I hit finish drawing, and then the last thing we can do then is just hit save. And you'll see now if I pop my timeline back up there, here it is at the top here. It's popped through to my timeline. And again, if I needed to go and edit it, that's where I can go and click this edit button, and then it'll take me back through to just where we were for creating those map layers. So at the moment here, I'm on my tablet doing it, and so this is what it looks like on the web version. So we have the plus button up here on the web version, and obviously this toolbar here is up the top. But if you're on the app, obviously that toolbar will be down on the bottom here, and the plus button is in the middle, being the blue plus. So that's pretty much one of the differences between the app and the web version. So I'll actually come in here and I'll show you some of my ones that I've been doing. So probably one of the most important ones I did when we purchased this farm was actually trying to nut out where where the water lines are. So that's why I've got in here water lines as we know them. So I've drawn all the lines in here and everything, and they've given me all the different meters and everything. But yeah, they add them up for you as well. So I can see I've got 12.45 Ks in there. And if I come in here, we can now see all of our water lines. Here's our location here. And if I zoom in, we can see every line on the property. Yeah, where every tank is, every trough, every tap, yeah, everything related to the water. And then all of these lines are also color coordinated, related to where what size the pipes are as well. And I have labeled them as well. So for me, I'm doing this just so if there's someone else that comes into the property, like I use casual staff in that, then they are able to problem solve and then it's just creating that history. So, and for instance, here, say if these lines here weren't in the right place where you think they are, you do have the ability to go and edit these maps, like I showed before, by clicking on them, and you can go and move them. So, say for instance, if this one, if you're standing and it's got the blue dot over here, and you want to move that map, you can go and edit it and drag that across and put it exactly where you know it goes. So, say if it's been mole plowed in and the fence has been cut and you can see the joins, then you can go out and edit them out on the farm. You don't need service to do any of this. And but I do recommend when it comes to drawing the layers to start with, it's a lot easier to do this on your computer with a mouse. But then you can go out into the paddocks and go and fine tune it from there. So another good example here on my water lines one was we were doing some pole planting, and I'd actually put the auger through the main line, and we didn't have a clue where it was. But what I had the ability was to go and drop a pin where I was standing, and then I went and gone and re-edited this map because when I originally drew it, I think I actually drew it like well up here somewhere coming through, but obviously I didn't follow the contour enough because it's all gravity fed. So yeah, it was just super handy able to drop that pin right where I was standing, and then from there I was then able to come in and yeah go and edit this map for soon. So found that super helpful. So another one that I've been using a lot lately is a weed map. So I've coming in and I'm always editing this weed map all the time. Okay. So underneath weeds, I've got both a variegator and a blackberry one. And what I have done here to make it really quick for me to edit these is if I come into my tag list and then I come to scroll through, um, weeds is nearly as my last, pretty much my last tag that I have in my list. So when I'm on the app and I go to edit it, and then I need to go and search those tags to go, I'm gonna right, I need to, drop a pin. I found a new blackberry bush or a new variegator, what I'll show you in a minute. But just the ability just to come into my tag list, click tags, and then just do a quick flick, and it gets me right to the bottom, and then I can go straight to that weeds. I've just found it very quickly, very quick, instead of having to go, and scroll through lots of them and find them in the middle. So yeah, it's been really helpful just having that weeds tag right there at the end, and quick to find. So under my variegator ones here, it's just we've been trying to create a history on where they are. These are ones that I've grubbed this year. So yeah, dropped a point on everywhere that I've found a variegator. And if there's been big patches, I've actually drawn in that area there as well. Okay. So also with these maps here, they are totally exportable. So if we come down to the bottom here, we have this draw layer button, and this is where I can then come in and go and search I can then download this file, what's a shape file, and then I've got the ability to export that into anything. So a helicopter, spray truck, or whatever it is. So you can send this to them as a task if you like. We'll talk about soon. You might also be able to yeah, to be honest, what I do is I actually just email them through to them, and then they can then go and put that in whatever program that they're using in their trucks or helicopters and stuff. So I do have a friend who's a user, and he's done a variegator map like this, and he's found that it's paid for his subscription every year just having this, because before that he was having to go and spend 2-3 hours sitting in a helicopter flying around with them and getting them to go and drive around and show them where all the points are. So that's been really super helpful because a lot of these other programs out there that they have headsets for, helicopters or whatever, they don't have the ability to drop points. They've only got the ability to draw areas. So um, also down here, if I go down to my other weed map I've got here is a blackberry one. And on this blackberry one here, you can see there's quite a lot of blackberry. That's what we inherited when we bought the farm. And so what we've done here is the first couple of years, I did the pink dots. So once I had found them, I'd been marking them. We had then done a whole war pretty much on blackberry since then. So I had all these pink ones have now been dealt to. But these yellow ones are the new ones that I've found since then. So I've just found it really helpful to not to just go and delete these old ones because they might come back up there, but it's just creating that history on where they all are. So what we'll do now is we'll bring Guy into the fold. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and Guy can give a bit of a background on himself and also on what kind of examples he's got here. So just stop sharing. Should be able to share now, Guy.
Cool. Oh, thanks, Robbie, for that. I'm Guy Melville, uh, based in the North Waikato. Just sort of 20 minutes northwest of Huntly. We've moved up here from Taihape about 6 years ago. We've sort of taken over a farm that was relatively run down and re-fenced it up into cell systems. We're predominantly bull beef, but we also trade lambs through the winter as well. So yeah, with sheep and beef up here. We've been using resolution for approximately 4.5, 5 years, and it's just been a real game changer for us. And we've been able to plan a lot of our fencing and water and stuff like that. So yeah, I was just going to show you. So we've got sort of an area that we call Huntly that we've developed in the last sort of couple of months. So obviously on the right hand side, that's the whole farm, which is roughly 1,180 hectares, sort of 950 effective, and we've probably got about 550 hectares that are in intensive cells. With our cells, we call them a system, so it's like a paddock, and then we divide them up into 12 cells. So a system is basically a paddock, but then divided up. And then from that, um, so what we've done here, we've just taught ourselves how to do some drawing and stuff. So we've had this area here with so basically what I did here, I basically went round, I wanted to fence off all the native bush. And then we've basically decided we sort of wanted 4 paddocks to start with. So we've divided up. We went round and just marked where we wanted some strainers and stuff. And then we copied and pasted and then made another layer. And then we started drawing in our systems. So basically, we've got 4 systems here, which we call Huntley, and they're all roughly the same size. They're not exactly the same size, just due to the contour and stuff. And then the next sort of step we did was we wanted to do a little bit of planning for water. So obviously we drew in some water lines. We put in a tank over here in the middle, and then we've drawn some water lines to where we approximately want them to go. And then obviously it's given us all the lengths and stuff of how much. So we basically needed to order a sort of 2.6 kilometres of 25 mil pipe to accommodate this area. And then we've decided to take it to a new step, and we've turned it into a intensive cell system, and we've gone through and drawn in. So each system or paddock, we've now divided up into 12. And so basically what we did, we get the area and then we divide it by 12. So this is approximately, these are approximately these cells here, like so that's Huntley 1, cell 1 is roughly sort of 3.3 hectares. So we basically went through and drew each cell individually until we got to the end, and then we went back and copied and pasted and just edited it so we get to the shapes and where we actually wanted them. And then so that gives us our basic 12 cell systems. But then in the winter, we want to have a longer rotation, so we cut them in half. So we've actually can turn our cells into from 12 into 24. So that's where the red lines are. So we just drew a half a cell. So that was just 1.6 hectare, sorry, zero point 0.6 of a hectare. And then we just put a line across, and also that's given us a measurement so we can know how much polywire we need to order and stuff like that. And also on that red line, each red line, we also have a micro trough. So each cell system will have water. And then, yeah, we'll run some balls in amongst all this. So, which is great. And then,
Oh, while we're on that guy, so why don't you just talk us through how you were able to draw in each of those cells? So, what was that process that you went through to draw them, and then which ones are the poly wire and which ones are high tensile wire?
yeah, so basically we went round the outside first and just marked with the location button where we wanted some of the strategic sort of angles and strainers, because obviously there's some hills in there and obviously you can't get attracted to some of it. So that was our first step to create the sort of skeleton fence and obviously get out of the bush. And then so obviously and then we sort of created the shape of the paddock that we were comfortable with. And then from there, we just drew in our 12 cells. So basically, yeah, we divided the area by 12 and then drew in. So we drew this cell first here. So this is cell 1. And so I think it's roughly works at about 0.34 of a hectare. So we drew that in, saved that, and then we drew another one here, which was the same area, and basically did that all the way along until we were comfortable with the shape and the order that we wanted them to flow in. Obviously, this had a little dog leg, so it just made it a little bit tricky because we try and have a cell just go from one to the next. But so each blue line will have a wire across it, which will have an arrow post in it. And then the red lines is the halfway, which we will put a poly wire up in sort of April, May, depending on the season. How's
So,
it explain most of it?
yeah, so what kind of stocking rates that kind of taking you from before you've done this development to after? What's
Um, yeah, so this block was sort of running like 1.2 to 1.5 bulls or steers to the hectare. The goal was to get it to three. I think obviously we've just finished developing this, so obviously we haven't got a full season, but the target will be sort of 2.8 to 3 bulls to the hectare, which will be around about 11 to 1200 kilos of carcass weight per hectare.
and what kind of round lengths have we been talking before this development's gone in and after? And yeah, what are you kind of getting? What's your round variation between?
Yeah, so prior to this, obviously this was just what we just ran this all as one block. Obviously they could graze through the bush as well, which was about 22 hectares or something. Now that we've taken out all the bush and stuff, it's about 18. And we had sort of had 4 paddocks in there, so they would just get shifted weekly. And then, hope that spring would come early and would start growing some grass. Whereas now, with the intensive cells, we'll shift them. So obviously during the spring, we get them down to sort of a 30-day round. So we work on like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday shifts, which sort of averages 2.5 days. So 2.5 times 12 is 30. days, and then obviously once we put the half in, um, we try and go out to sort of 3.5 days a cell per shift, and that gets us out to about 84 days. And then if we get really wet, we actually go to 96 days, so we cut our cells into quarters if we have to, just depending on the season. But yeah, so obviously in the winter we try and aim for sort of between 80 and 100 days. And then as spring comes along, we start speeding it up and then get down to a 30-day round. And so technically we're bringing spring forward, or our grass and our bulls are always going into good covers. And yeah, so we've got a lot more control on creating some pasture for us, and the bulls are growing. So our bulls over the last 2 months have been averaging probably just over 1.5, 1.8 kilos a day, which is pretty cool at 3 to the hectare.
Oh, so you must really enjoy, yeah, winding up, doing a lot of polywire and moving stock then, moving bulbs. How many bulbs are you averaging a day you reckon you're moving?
Well, yeah, we have 86 mobs on this, or we have actually about 100 mobs on this farm, but we have 86 mobs in intensive cells. But um, yeah, like this morning, we shifted. There's two of us were out doing the shifts this morning, and we had, I think we had around about 40 mobs today, and we had shifted them within 2 hours. So yeah, it's pretty quick. So all our internal fences, so like these ones here, they have all got a spring on them. So we use we've got some alkathene zip tie to our motorbikes, so we can drive straight over the fences. So it's pretty quick shifting them. So yeah, we can sort of shift between 6 and 9 mobs an hour. So yeah, it's pretty efficient, and no gates to open it.
So what's
Yeah.
been the alternative if you haven't been able to go and draw these in here? Am I aware you've had to kind of pay a consultant to do that? Is that right?
Yep, yep. So obviously, before we came on to resolution, we've been using a consultant to work through a mapping program, which we've done a big proportion of the farm with that. But obviously now we're sort of, I mean, over the last 5 years, we've only been here 5 years, and we've sort of been developing a bit each year, and now we're sort of got new country that we haven't developed, and so we've been, and obviously we've got better at using resolution. So now we've just using resolution to try and, I wanted to see if it was possible to do it, and it is now, and then we can plan out, exactly how we want our cells. And obviously we work on the farm daily, so we know exactly where we want to put our fences and stuff like that. So it's been cool to just, it gives you have time to you can draw it up, go and have a look at it in the paddock, and then if you don't like it, you can go back and then re-alter it, or you actually can alter it on your phone as well. So which is quite a cool.
Cool. It's been a big cost saving, I'd imagine, has it?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely yeah, it has certainly saved us some money along the way. So yeah, and also like it's obviously I've got two staff here, um, so I've been able to sort of plan all the development of the cells, or this particular block anyway, because this is one of them that we've done on our own, and but our workers have been able to go in there with the post rammer and go exactly to the spots where we need some posts and stuff like that, which has been, yeah, really beneficial. So yeah, we haven't had to get it marked out as well.
Yeah, so do you just want to talk through that process? So of when you come to doing that development with the post rammer, maybe a couple of examples, maybe just zoom right in there and show where gateways are
Yeah.
shown.
Oh, obviously we haven't marked any posts, but obviously so this is like a new fence here. So obviously we've tried to use some of the existing strainers. But yeah, he'll come in and he'll mark. He'll put a strainer in this spot, or I might go there and put a standard in that he can come and mark it on. And then obviously down here, and then so we've made a gateway across here. So we possibly, if we wanted to spend more time on the drawing, we could put a little gate in here and stuff. And then also, I've also gone through and done I've marked where the red lines are. So we have a white peg with a black marker on it, which will go in here, which we call an arrow post, and one over here as well. So we also know where to put all our poly wires. Yeah, so this is a permanent fence, so that'll have a post there and there. have an arrow post which will have a different color. So we know that in the when we want to put this up to get exactly where to go to. And so technically each one of these will be the same size.
Awesome. So you've actually been able to go out there, you've drawn your map exactly where you want it to go, you've tweaked it, you've got it where you want, and then you've been able to go out there to those strainer corners and mark them because you can see your location as a little blue dot and whack them in. And how accurate have you found them? You found them pretty accurate? Like you've been pretty happy with how they've come out?
Yep, yeah, no, I mean, sometimes you've just got to be a little bit patient. I think I don't know, it just depends where the satellites are or the weather and stuff. But sometimes it's really quick to get the exact spot, and sometimes it just takes a little bit longer. Um, but yeah, once you sort of get in the swing of it, it seems to get easier as you just sort of know what you're doing. But yeah, just to start with, it was a little bit slow, but yeah, no, it's been really it doesn't take too long. Mm.
No, that's fantastic. There's quite a hot topic at the moment about productivity in this country, and this is a classic example of able to do that, not just for using resolution, but able to go out and intensify this farm and up that stocking rates. It's fantastic. So, no, that's bloody good. Thank you, Guy. And then you've got one other map there you want to show us?
Yeah, so obviously, just recently we've just gone through FAP plus. So we got audited for FAP earlier in the year, and we thought we'll give it a go at doing plus as well. So yeah, we're very thankful we've got resolution because there's a lot of forms and stuff to fill in. So obviously, this was just another map that we did with. It's just got well, we've just called it a hazard map, but it's also got our farm infrastructure and some risk areas on the farm. So obviously, they're all listed here down here, and that's obviously the GPS coordinates. Um, so obviously, if there was an accident or something, this is the point that we could go and meet at. Um, and then obviously, if we just click on the map, um, this is them all here. Obviously, it looks a little bit jumbled with it at the moment, but obviously we can zoom up to where we want. Uh, so obviously, we've got some cattle yards here. Down here, we've got our main water pump. We've got water storage. We've got a quarantine paddock for when we buy animals and stuff, they can come in here. We've just got storage. It's a rubbish area, just the storage for posts and wool shed. So yeah, it's just all listed and stuff like that. Um,
Oh no, that's bloody
and
good.
yeah,
Thank you, Guy.
so yeah, no, once it's in there, it's yeah, and certainly the auditors appreciate when you're getting audited, and they really appreciate just being able to show them this sort of straight away. They certainly yeah, you start off on the right foot when you're getting audited when you show them that you've got resolution and what you've got in it, which has been cool. Mm.
Yeah, no, I can totally, with the same as you, really. I've just been going through FAP Plus and just having the ability to have all those maps, and there's so much of it's been based around maps and stuff.
Yep.
So being able to draw those different layers that I've got and have them all in there tagged separately has been very good. So yeah, no, thank you for that. Final question for you. Being from Huntley, surely you must be pro New Zealand coal, surely.
Yes, we don't have any coal on our farm, but yeah, it's not far away. But unfortunately, it doesn't go into the Huntley Power Station. But never mind.
Oh no, I think that's more of a conversation over beer another day. Hey, no, bloody good. Thank you, Guy. Appreciate that.
Oh, there we go.
Right, I'll just share my screen again. Cool. So, just to probably go on from the side of Guy's one there, he was talking about his health and safety. I'll just show you an example of mine here. It's of just a little bit different to guys. Probably, we've got a lot more hill country, like probably a lot of people on this call. So actually, what we have done here is actually come through, not just do ponds and emergency meeting points and extinguishers and all that, but we've actually drawn in where all of our creeks are, dead holes, and no-go zones on quads. quite a big one for us. Yeah, it's so we've just marked out all of that there. So part of my staff with their induction is going through this map here, and they've got the ability. And if they're not 100% sure, they can come in here and have a look. So a good thing also about these maps and stuff like that with the tracks and everything on it. Great if you've got people like that are coming onto the farm, such as hunters and stuff like that. The ability to send a task to them or be able to add them to your account and having these maps with them so they know exactly where they want to go and stuff like that is bloody handy. So another one here. Imagine there's quite a lot of people from Southland on this call, or just anywhere in the South Island where there's a lot of winter grazing happening compared to up here. So as you're seeing, if you'd signed up with Resolution, you would have got some templates with your program. So one of them is on winter grazing plans, and so yeah, we've just got here an example of one. So we've got the name of it, the area, the description of the paddock, adverse weather plan, yeah, what kind of stock they are, and when they were going on and off, and what their demand was and everything. We've then got all the baleage and all the supplement related to it. So we worked all of that out, and then all the details around the crop side of things as well. So then if we come into the map on it, we've got a nice tidy map there with everything related to it. Okay, so we can see here where the first break's been put in here, the direction that it's been getting grazed at, where the water source is. We've got a shelter about here, runoff block, adverse weather, and then we've got here through this map here, they were halfway through the winter, and so they actually wanted to know roughly how much they still had on hand. So they were able to stop, stand on that where that new break is there, and then go and draw that polygon in there to go and work it out. So we can see that they still had 2 hectares of crop left for the winter. We've also got here a couple of creeks, and there's a pond, and then we've got a critical source area here, what we're not grazing as well. So that's a pretty stock standard winter grazing plan that we need. And then if we come down here a bit further, we've also then taken a photo of it as well. So just showing that, we're walking the talk, we're doing the right thing, we don't have stock up to their bellies in mud. And, there's some areas in New Zealand are starting to get environmental audits happening, and it's going to happen more often. So, a picture says 1,000 words. So having the ability to have them in here, so these auditors can see it, goes a long way. So some other ones that I've got in here is down the bottom here is yeah, so we've when we took over this block, there was quite a lot of big paddocks, somewhere like 27 hectare paddocks kind of thing was a bit too big for my liking. So this one here was a 9 hectare paddock, and so we wanted to split this one up. So it's given us here the size of that whole paddock there. We can see up here it's 9 hectares, and from here I was wanting to split it in half. So obviously 4.5 hectares. So I came in here and did similar to what Guy did. I actually just went and drew in a polygon, and then I went and tweaked it a bit to try and get into the different areas that I was to get it all balanced out. But actually, it was perfect in the end. This is right on top of a ridge line, and it's from and right down to the gateway here. So was really happy with that. So I went and drew that area, and then moved it a bit just to get it right. And then I came through again, and I actually drew a line through here as well, and that was so I could actually work out how long that line was, and from there I could work out how much fencing gear I need. So then I'd come in here, and then I did a few quick back of the envelope calculations to work out how much fencing gear I needed. So it was just really, really handy for that. So that's a good summer job. What we'll get up to. So what we'll do now is we'll go and jump over into some tasking here. Okay, so again, this toolbar is down the bottom on your app, but on the web version here, we can go into task. Okay, so I've got two in here. Yeah, so the first one here is we're just in the process of getting last of our last season hoggets away. So we've just got cattle on pretty much for the summer. And so we go through and run polywire through all of the paddocks because, yeah, sheep and polywire don't really go well together. So I've come through here and I've gone and drawn in exactly where I want all these fences split up. And you can see they're all labeled in that. And so I can send that to my worker. My worker can go away. I've just assigned this task to myself at the moment, but I will assign it to a worker. And yeah, they're able to go and hit this GPS location, show their location on here, and they can then go and yeah, go and run these poly wires exactly where they want, where they need to go. It also obviously tallies them up so you know how many there are, but it also says the distances of each one, so they can go and make sure that they've got the right amount of fencing gear with them that they need. Some other ones that we just use it for, just like basic R&M. So here's where a tree's fallen on a fence here, and gone and dropped a point where it is on the map as well. And another one is we run a lot of Frisian bulls like Guy does, and they're pretty good at breaking posts. So as I find these broken posts, I mark them on the map here, and then just whenever we got a bit of spare time, we'll go through and go and fix these ones up. So all these ones in pink are the ones that we've done, and yeah, we're actually just about up to date. There's only one over here, but here's a really good example. I was out on the coming and doing all of these ones out this way, and I came to this one and went in to go and put a do this post here, and I was like, shit, I'm pretty sure there's another one around here somewhere. And so I wasn't 100% sure. So sure enough, whipped out the app and had a look at where those broken posts were, and there was one down here. So because this is a layer that I had keep going back and updating all the time and added it to it. So yeah, I totally forgot there was one down there. So that was where it was really helpful because it would really be annoying if you drove all the way home and then realized, oh, there's actually still one out there to be done. So that's been really, really helpful. So there's also the ability, guys, whenever you've got a record of a map layer, um, then you can just come here in here and hit this edit button. There's an option here to create it and save it as a task. So you can actually push that layer through to a task and task it to whoever you want. So you can do that, and you can also do it the other way if you like. If you've got something as a task, you can then go and create it as a record if you like. So just the last thing down here, yeah, these are all the different kind of layers that I've got. Yeah, we just a lot of these are to do with that FAP plus what we talked about before. But we've got other ones. We've got trees here. We're actually marking where all of our poplars are that we're planting that go into the ETS. We take a combination of that, of marking them with a GPS, taking photos of them, and then drone footage. That's enough to be for MPI to be happy with. So yeah, and then but yeah, I've got other ones like electric fences with the way directions of power runs, and then where all the switches and stuff like that are. So yeah, it's just another way that when staff come out to go chase power, they've got a pretty good idea on how that all works. So the last thing we've got here is this is our website. So if you've got any other issues or anything like that around anything, not just around map players, for instance, down the bottom here, you can see where it says existing client support. If you come and click this, this will take you through to our help center, and then from here you can go and search anything or go through categories of what you're looking for. So if for instance, if I just write in here the word map layer, it's given me a whole lot of different options here for so different resources. So here's one on how to create one, edit one. So if I go and click on this one on how to create one. And then down the bottom here, we've got a brief 2-minute YouTube video on how to create that map layer. And then underneath that, we've got step by step with screenshots on how you can do that. So this is an example for one on the app. And then we've also got one here on the desktop version as well. Okay. So yeah, so that's just in our help center. And if there's something that you can't find in there and you need more help, then please come down to this contact support and fill in this form here, and one of our lovely support staff will that are in on this call, quite a few of them are on this call, can get back to you as well. Um, so yeah, that's about it really, guys. What we've got. Yeah, thanks again, Guy, for joining us, and yeah, thanks to everyone else that's out there.